And I am presenting testimony on behalf of Russell Kokobun, the board chair at the department. I'm just going to kind of summarize some key points. And really, pesticides, we regulate that. And the seed industry knows that. The pesticide label is the law. For any pesticide label to be registered, it has to undergo scientific testing, data. It's reviewed by scientists, analysts, and it may take up to 10 years to get a registration on the product. I think more importantly is that HDOA, and that's the Hawaii Department of Agriculture, we know that this bill makes findings as to the amount of restricted pesticides used annually by major agricultural entities on Kauai, and the bill attributes the supporting data to HDOA. I want to say, or Russell says that the HDOA does not maintain records of the volumes of restricted use pesticides used. We only keep sales records. Our records of restricted use pesticides, RUP sales, for the Kauai agricultural sector, which includes both major users and smaller users of RUPs, indicate on average for the last 3 years a total sales volume that is significantly lower than the figure of 18 tons that has been cited in the media as a volume of RUPs used annually. So again, our data are sales records, not use records. We have to make that distinction. The bill at section 22-22-4, it's on page 6. It proposes to require an annual pesticide use report on RUP and general use pesticides, as well as pesticides used under experimental use permits. HDOA believes it would be beneficial for the county to look at the efforts and resources committed by the U.S. mainland states or counties that have developed and implemented pesticide reporting systems. Of particular interest would be the cost of professional staff with technical and regulatory expertise.
3 minutes.
Development, testing, implementation for the system. Finally, on the open air testing point on this bill, we feel this would work to the disadvantage of Kauai in the event that there is a pest problem.
Okay, that's 3 minutes.
Currently, in any state, HDOA can allow a permit to test a registered pesticide on a product not listed on the label.
That's your time.
Question.
Thank you.
You might have a question now.
Yes, please. Mr. Matsuda, thank you for being here tonight, and please thank Mr. Kokobun. Would you be willing to come back at one of our committee meetings so we can have a more in-depth discussion?
Certainly.
And can you provide the volume that your sales show? I mean, you said it's not the 18 tons,
Yes.
but please give us the
Okay.
data.
I can send that to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Yes, I have a question also. I have your data that you gave me.
And those are sales records, not use
Correct,
records.
yes.
Correct.
And so you're assuming that what you sell they're not using? Is that the correct? And
Well,
the 18 tons, I've actually rounded it way down. So if you could provide the math, okay, you gave me the amount of pesticides
yeah.
purchased, and I did the calculations. So if you could show me your calculations,
Sure. We
then I can compare those and talk about those on Monday. How's that? Okay.
Well, I don't know about Monday, but I'll get that to you.
Okay, Monday would be really helpful to us if you could. Councilmember Bynum?
Sure.
Thanks for being here. You're testifying on behalf of Mr. Kokobun,
That's correct.
former senator, right?
Yes.
And he's the head of the Department of Ag.
He's a
And
board
in
chair.
his testimony, is he taking a position on this bill?
Basically, he's just offering comment and pertinent information. And again, we submitted the written testimony. it's.
I've
before you
read the
folks.
written
Yeah.
testimony, I just. do
So
you
basically,
you
that-
characterize that testimony
Yeah.
as taking a position on
Well,
this
the
bill?
last part then would be, we would be in opposition because for the experimental, what you folks label testing, if there is a pest that shows up on Kauai, under this bill, how it is written, any researchers would not be able to do
Right.
open air testing.
Mr. Masuda, I read the testimony. My question is Mr. Kokobun taking a position on this bill?
As written, does not appear to be.
Thank you. So the testimony is presented, the Department of Agriculture does not take a position on the bill. Is that correct?
Pretty much, it's just, we're sharing pertinent information.
Exactly, but there's not a for or against, it's just sharing information. Councilmember Kagawa, did you have a question?
Thank you. Mr. Matsuda, Kauai office has somebody that regulates pesticides.
We have an inspector on
For the
island.
seed companies. We have an inspector here on the island.
Yes.
Or two. Just one person.
One inspector for the island of Kauai.
I would like for the next committee meeting, that person or his boss or her boss to be present to describe what they do for each company, just to inform us as to what kind of regulations the state does.
An inspection.
Yeah, that would be on Monday, if that's possible. 9:30, council chambers.
Okay.
So, thank you very much for your testimony. One more question from Councilmember.
One more question, Mr. Matsuda. When you come to the committee meeting, could you have provided one bit of factual information that's relevant to the findings in the bill?
Yes.
If you have any other information about any of the other of the findings, we would appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Next testifier, please.